you're on.
Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of City Council for Friday, August 21st, 2020. Council will continue to meet virtually on Tuesdays and Wednesdays until further notice. All meetings will be live streamed via the City Channel's YouTube channel. Will the clerk please take the roll call?
Reverend Burgess.
Here.
Mr. Caldwell.
Here.
Ms. Gross.
Here.
Mr. Kraus.
Here.
Mr. LaBelle.
Here.
Mr. McCollum.
Here.
Ms. Strasburger.
Here.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mrs. Kell Smith, President.
Here.
9 members present.
Thank you. As we join together from our remote locations, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, our next order of business is proclamations. We have no proclamations today, but we do have a will of council that will be read next week. We were going to read it today. It will be, we actually have two for next week that I know from our office and Councilman Caldwell's office. And one is in support of the post office, the postal service. And now we'll move on to our next order of business is public comment. And I would like to remind everyone that the rules of council states that comments are limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation, which are or may be before City Council. Profanity will not be permitted. May we have the first speaker, please? And the first speaker is, the last name is Ekman, E-C-K-M-A-N. Elaine Ekman.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Good morning.
My name's Elaine Ekman from the Carrick neighborhood. Today, I want to further speak about the ineffectiveness of the Office of Municipal Investigations and the Citizens Police Review Board. I mentioned at a prior meeting that the wording of the OMI annual report was cryptic. Since then, I spoke with Christy Heidel of the OMI, who clarified that the word sustained in the reports means that cases are turned back over to the Bureau of Police, and then they decide whether or not to discipline themselves. There's an average of 9% of cases where the OMI doesn't strategically exonerate or find complaints unfounded, and for that small amount, they simply turn the cases back over to the police, and the citizens never know if any disciplinary action is ever being taken. I've talked to other Pittsburgh taxpayers who said that the Citizens Police Review Board doesn't return phone calls of people who blatantly had their rights violated by the police, and other people are verbally deterred from the board when they try to file a complaint in person. It appears that the board only investigates cases that they can easily shut down, and since they're allowed to keep their investigations private and they only publish an annual report every 3 or 4 years, we never know exactly what it is they do with their public funding. The reason people file complaints in the first place is because they feel victimized by the police. Over 3,000 people filed complaints with the Citizens Police Review Board, and for every one of them, there's likely many, many more people who don't have the courage, time, or knowledge to speak up about it. People are afraid of the police, and every day we hear more stories about police killing unarmed civilians and then walking away free because they lie and say they're afraid for their lives. And this just gives police a false sense of entitlement to think that they say everything they say is truth in the law, and it's not. There's no real accountability for the police, and the people who have the power to do something about it continually to ignore the problem and allow cops to get away with abuse of power. And because 0 times anything is always 0, giving the Citizens Police Review Board more power to do nothing is going to result in nothing. I feel you should completely disband the Citizens Police Review Board as well as the Office of Municipal Investigations and create a new department that's actually going to investigate misconduct instead of just looking for ways to dismiss it. Thank you for your time. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too. Our next speaker is Steve Stamey. Steve?
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Steve Stamey. I live in the Friendship area for the last 39 years. I was informed last week, I am just getting over open heart surgery, so I have to keep away from everybody or it'll kill me, this COVID stuff. But I got a note on my door that some neighborhood group that was created only a couple weeks ago is planning on painting 50-foot clowns in front of my home on the street. They call it asphalt art. I have never heard of such a misuse of English language in all my life. They're planning on changing the way the streets run here, and I'm going to tell you, I've lived here a long time. It took us years and years to work to make the streets safer, to widen them, to open the intersections, and to make it more visible, to trim the trees and such. We've done a lot of work, and now people want to paint clowns in front of my home. This is all being done on a grant, a matching grant. I thought the city was bankrupt, but the city is planning on spending $25,000 to $75,000 to paint the street. To call this ridiculous is ridiculous. Surely you have something better to do with kids starving, with people dying right and left. Surely you have something better to do with the funds that we give you. I don't understand why. I've worked in this area for years trying to make it better. And these are people that don't even live here. They live about a quarter of a mile away. And they say they represent the Friendship area. That's just not true. This is a pile. People are making this up, and they're going to hurt people like me who have been here for years and years trying to make this area better. I've tried, since I got the letter on my door, I have tried to talk to my representatives at City Council. I've tried to talk to the mayor, who used to be my representative and I thought was a friend of mine. I realize he has his own problems by looking at the news last night. But still, no one will even address this. They're telling me that basically there's nothing I can do, that I'm going to have 50-foot clowns in front of my home. Now, you don't have to ask John Wayne Gacy that clowns are frightening. I think he ate 34 boys dressed as a clown. It's not right. And it took us years to get rid of the graffiti in this area when this was bad. When I moved here, this was all basically crack houses and whore houses, all the apartments here. Now they're being...
Thank you. I hope you heal nicely. Next speaker, Robert Bay. Next speaker, Robert Bay. Mr. Bay?
Yes.
Good morning.
Greetings. Yes, I'm trying to, I want to stay on point here with you guys. I want to talk about some property that I've been working on for the last 15 years across the street from my house, which I own at 6819 Frankstown Avenue. And I own my property. I owe the city no money. I applied for a request to purchase application from the city of real estate for business entity. I wanted to develop this land back then and still do now. I am a required qualified buyer. I should have been approved, but since COVID, I haven't had any response. I have copies of the 5 papers that I filed for the purchase of these properties. It was dated January 31st, 2020. I also am a certified contractor with the city of Pittsburgh. My contracting number for the city, if you would like, was 010058-752. And I have a business plan also to develop the property. I also have the support of the community, and I would like to have some communication with someone who would be able to help me in this matter. Like I said, I had already applied to purchase this property as a business entity, and I have the plans already drawn up and proposals drawn up, and who do I submit them to? And there's also a issue where the city was planning on turning over all the city lots to the URA. And if so, my agenda is to make sure that the city, if they have to, would address this issue to me. And why would they even think about turning this property over to the URA when someone who was the property owner, a developer, and a community member, community organizer would even think about talking to anyone besides me first? And the lot block numbers, this is 125G 79 through 83. 125G 79, 78, and 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, and 83. It's right across the street from my house. I'm sure Ricky Burgess knows all about me doing the work. We even talked to one time, and I told him that I was thinking about making a shelter for homeless veterans. He liked the idea, but today my aunt told me, she said, why not dedicate it to your grandmother's mother, who was the first female black surgeon in this country, Elizabeth?
Thank you, Mr. Bay. Thank you. Seeing no further speakers, our next order of business will be presentation of papers. Good morning, members, and welcome back. Councilman Burgess, Chair of Urban Recreation.
No new papers.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Reverend Burgess. Councilman Coghill, Chair of Public Works.
No new papers, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Intergovernmental Affairs.
No new papers, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Kraus, Chair of Human Resources.
No new papers, Madam President.
Thank you. Councilman Lavelle, Chair of Finance and Law.
No new papers, Madam President.
Thank you. Councilman O'Connor, Chair of Public Safety Services.
No new papers, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Strasburger, Chair of Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management.
No new papers, Madam President.
Thank you. Councilman Wilson, Chair of Land Use and Economic Development.
No new papers, Madam President.
Thank you. And myself, Chair of Hearings, I have no new papers. And we will now move on to unfinished business. Seeing that there is no unfinished business, our next order, we'll move on to the motions and resolutions. And I have a meeting announcement. Council will resume their regular meeting schedule. Let me put my glasses on. We'll resume the regular meeting schedule next week, starting with the regular meeting on Tuesday and the standing committees meeting on Wednesday. To register to speak at these meetings, please call the clerk's office at 412-255-2138 by 9 a.m. the morning of the meeting. You may also submit written testimony by email to City Clerk's Office at pittsburghpa.gov. That's City Clerk's with an S office at pittsburghpa.gov. And with that said, is there any comment from the members? And you have to yell, say it because I can't see you all at once. Seeing no comment from the members, I'm just going to say that we have had a very difficult week in the city of Pittsburgh. And I think that members have all been trying to do what they can and what they know to do, and try to come together and to try to work out some things that we can show that the city of Pittsburgh can peacefully coexist and can lead in issues that are of importance to a diverse group of people. And I want to thank the members for all the work that they've been doing quietly, publicly, and collectively. I also want to thank the administration for working with us, and hope that we can get to a place where people feel comfortable with protest in their communities, and with protesting in communities, and at the same time feel that they're safe. And I want to make sure that also our public safety people have the tools they need to do the job that we expect them to do, and that includes making sure we're looking into different techniques and different legislation. And with that said, I'm just going to say, I'm going to ask members before they start throwing. I asked this once before. I know there's a propensity to throw legislation out without knowing all the details and all the ramifications. I'm going to ask members to be responsible, that we represent the city of Pittsburgh as a whole, and there's a lot of diverse and various opinions. And I think that in order to do things that are right by the city as a whole, we need to make sure that we have all the facts and details. We have a scheduled council briefing with the Public Safety Department. We ask continually if anyone who would like to meet with us that has differing opinions would like to meet with us, including organizers, we ask that they contact our offices, and we'll be happy to sit down and talk to people and work with people. But we're not going to get anywhere unless we start these conversations, unless we do real change. And that real change means we're not throwing legislation out just to look like the hero for the day. It means that we're actually yielding results and real change for our constituency. And with that said, if there's no other comment, I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes and adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.